Hi, I'm Dan. Coming up tonight, see how wind generators are changing the world. Plus, the absolute ultimate in computer gaming systems. And we've scoured the Sunday paper for the best tech ads. Live from the Tech TV studios in San Francisco, it's Screensavers!
Gentlemen, welcome to the Screensavers. I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Leo Laporte. Welcome to our Geek Freak Show. Yes, we're saving the planet here on the Screensavers, one computer at a time.
However, this week
especially, one computer at a time.
Because
we're going to help the planet, because it's Help the Planet Week on Tech TV. Help the planet. You know why?
Because it's good to hug trees?
Tomorrow is Earth Day. All animals, trees, ocean, everything in nature is influenced by technology. Look at the little ferrets.
Actually, I think those are meerkats.
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 Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I'm sorry,
lemurs?
lemurs. I apologize.
We should, you know, Allison, one of our producers, is an expert on flora and fauna of the Oceania area. Yes. We'll be, I'm sorry. No, can we start the show over? Please? Take two?
Take two. Tonight, you know what? We got tech news. We got the real deal.
We got a wind thing.
We got talking about generating
sound. We got a wind thing.
Hey, you should stick around for the wind thing. But in the meantime,
big stories. You know, these a number of states have already started these what they call baby DMCAs, where the state is trying to go in business for itself, supporting the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, usually with extensions that are really, really bad.
The lingo is super DMCA.
Oh, now, see, they want you to tell us about the Opterons
we'll tell them about the Opterons
Can I do the
afterwards.
super DMCA
Do the super
first?
DMCA, because this is, once again, your rights being picked and poked away.
It makes me mad. Yeah. Tomorrow, Tennessee's Senate Judiciary Committee, this is according to Slashdot, is going to hold a hearing on SB 213 and HB 457, Tennessee and Arkansas. Those are two different bills. Basically, it's the Motion Picture Association of America is getting to these small state legislatures and saying we need help protecting movies, and everyone loves movies.
Here's the thing: in the state of Massachusetts, it only took 20 protesters to show up and discuss some of the issues they had, but the super DMCA knocked the bill out of the legislature. It's up in the state of Tennessee in the legislature. It has already been passed by the legislature in Arkansas, but you can still fax, write, or email the governor of Arkansas to try to prevent this from being signed into law.
What is it that this one is proposing? Because the Massachusetts one was just really terrible. It basically made it impossible to copy movies.
Here's the thing: essentially, legislatures, just like the folks that got the DMCA hammered through on a federal level, are introducing, the MPAA primarily is introducing more of laws and extending the laws inside of individual states. So I highly recommend, look, if you live in Tennessee or Arkansas, go to slashdot.org now, scroll down, read this link, and basically, if you don't like
you could be one of the 20 people that turn it over.
Or if nothing else, contact your local representatives, fax or letters, phone calls, all count a little bit more than email.
This thing.
But definitely fight for your rights.
Now we can talk about the good news. That's the Opteron.
That's the Opteron.
It's coming out when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. It's like a nutty week. You think about buying a new system, pay attention because it's a big week for processors.
This is a great processor.
Well, first off, AMD's, I'm waiting to see the benchmarks. AMD's long-awaited Opteron is set to finally launch tomorrow.
64-bit processor.
I'm getting to that.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Second, Intel fixed the glitch that delayed the launch of the 3 GHz Pentium 4. That's the 800 MHz one, the new one, formerly known as Canterwood, and they dropped the price on the existing ones. They dropped the price on all of the 3 GHz processors by 30%.
Because they're hoping that what just happened here will happen everywhere.
Exactly.
People say the Opteron's coming out, but by the way, the P4 is out and it's dropping the price, and they'll forget the Opteron.
Have you seen benchmarks on the Opteron running 32-bit code? The 32-bit code.
That's the issue, because we don't have 64-bit Windows yet.
Now, is it time to buy? Well, rumor has it Intel will introduce a 3.2 GHz Pentium 4 using that new chipset in the next month, which means prices will be dropping again. And the Opteron, we want to see the 64-bit processor that promises compatibility with 32-bit code. We want to see the benchmarks because it's going to be a lot less expensive, and then it basically operating system application portability is much, much easier, we've been told, than Intel's Itanium.
Yeah, unlike the Itanium, which runs
Yeah.
basically 32-bit x86 architectures in emulation, this is still an x86 architecture processor.
Right.
So even though it's 64-bit data path, 64-bit memory addressing, it still runs your old instructions. So in theory, and again,
In theory.
you got to see the numbers, it should do a very, very good job with existing code, unlike the Itanium, which is really designed for 64-bit code.
Right.
Yeah.
In theory, both of them
Tomorrow.
are- yeah.
Now, see, we have division of labor here. I don't like to know. I don't sign non-disclosure agreements. I don't like to know anything in advance because I can't. Frankly, I'm a loudmouth, and I'll just tell everybody.
It's true.
I can't be trusted.
Yeah.
But Patrick can be trusted, so he signs the non-disclosure agreement, so I don't have to.
Right.
So he can see all this stuff. Now, I can't technically ask you if we have an Opteron in the lab.
And I won't even answer you if you do.
So is
But
that
since
a
you're
yes
looking
or
for
a
that-
no? Do we have an Opteron in the lab?
I don't know.
Robert
We
Heron,
might.
do we have an Opteron in the
Don't
lab?
look at Robert, 'cause-
None of these guys will tell me nothing.
That's because we've seen what happens when we do.
None of these guys. I hate that. All right, so we may or may not have one.
Yeah.
There was one of the tech sites had a review of the Opteron.
Yeah.
But who knows? You know.
There's so much potential. I got to be honest with you. If you want to spend the big bucks, you want to max out, you want to get the ultimate PC, don't buy one today.
We'll have the benchmarks for you tomorrow, right, Patrick?
Who knows?
Oh, I hate that. Later in the show, Robert Heron will be here to talk about something.
Some very cool PCs.
Something we can talk about.
We get a roundup of like the ultimate gaming PCs
Wait
we
till
can
you
find.
see this. Wait till you see this Alienware.
Yeah, these
it looks
Uber
like a
systems.
49 DeSoto. It's incredible.
It's ridiculous, is what it
I
is.
love it.
These systems range in price from somewhere around $2,500 up to $6,000
Wow.
in some configurations. Well, we're not going to tell you about the performance. We're going to talk about that later. But
Yeah.
you know what? Let's just scroll up and take a look at the cases, because that's what our poll
look
is
at
going to
these.
be today.
Like the case.
Let's just scroll up to
Just
that
take a
poll
look at those.
question.
Take a look at those, because we're going to ask you today which gaming PC not runs best,
Right.
not which one is faster, which one looks hotter.
The Alienware Area 51, the Falcon Northwest Mach 5, the Voodoo PC F550.
So there you go. The from left to right, you have
Right.
the Alienware, the Falcon, and the Voodoo. The Alienware is the green DeSoto. The Falcon is the kind of 60s, kind of New York City architecture.
It looks like House of Color, what they call the chameleon color.
Yeah, and then
Really
the
nutty
Voodoo,
stuff.
I don't know what you'd call that. That's like H.R. Geiger on
Case
steroids.
mod
I don't know what it
nuttiness.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's your three choices. Cast your vote at thescreensavers.com.
It's a shame. We were hoping to have a Dell in, but Dell declined. After we benchmarked it and it proved wonderful, Dell's holding off.
They didn't want to. Oh, because it's that using that new chip.
Right. Well, the new chip, which also point out, is the flaws in the it wasn't the flaw in
Canterwood.
the chip. It was some issues in the BIOS that have been.
Fixed.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later on.
Let's get to our first call today from Linton, Indiana. Bill, welcome to the Screensavers. Hello,
Hey,
Bill.
how's it going?
Hi,
Good.
we're great. How are you?
Doing all right.
All right. What can we do for you today?
Well, in my Internet Explorer,
Yes.
if I go to the view and
Yeah.
I go to toolbars,
Yeah.
I've got an area there that wants to know if I want to add adult links,
Oh, that's nice.
and I don't want
Wait,
that
did you hear
option
that in the
there.
background? Somebody in the back of the
Robert
studio
Herring goes,
"Excellent."
right on. Where can I get that? Where did you get that, Bill?
I don't know where I got
Rob-
it, but I know where I want to put it.
Yeah.
That's in the trash can.
You picked that up like a fungus, didn't you? That's something you got out on the internet. That's the problem with the internet.
Be careful.
It's very possible, in fact, because of the way Windows and Internet Explorer are designed, for them to install stuff with hardly any notice to you. They are supposed to put up a little message that
Right.
says, we're about to install stuff, but you might think you're downloading a program when in fact you're putting Bonzi Buddy on
Yeah,
your toolbar.
or you may think you're killing one of 27 pop-up windows that
how can
opened up.
How can he get rid of that?
I'm almost gonna say go straight to a spyware removal tool.
Yes, search and destroy. Spy
Because
bot,
I'm
search
pretty
and
sure it's
destroy.
not going to show up in your add remove control
I've-
panel.
I've got search and destroy on my computer. It's just a matter of probably running it then.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
figuring out which thing of all the spyware you got on there, which one is the one putting the porno links up.
Because I got to be honest with you, some of the nastiest stuff I've seen to try to remove from your system has actually been toolbars.
Can I use Windows XP's go back feature and go back a week? Will that remove it?
It's not really. You're thinking of go back, like the
System
application.
Restore.
You're talking about System Restore. I don't really use. I've never actually seen System Restore work.
It could. It would roll back anything
Yeah.
you've done since the
And
last system restore point, which
everything
may be
you've done.
yeah, which may not. It won't not document editing,
Yeah.
but any system changes. So yeah, that should, in theory, that should get rid of it. But
Sure.
who knows? You know, this thing has hooks all over this. It might get rid of it, but then there's a little stub that's left behind that says, oh, by the way, if this data is gone, reinstall.
He uninstalled me. I'll have to reinstall.
Yeah, they do
over
that.
and over. It's really annoying.
Patrick's going to show you can
Yeah.
remove toolbar items by unchecking them. So if it's not generous enough to actually have a link in there to the toolbar items you have, you
That's where
can't.
it's at. It's right up there where yours says links and address bar. It added
Right.
it to there.
It says adult stuff, so you can uncheck it, but it's still
But
there.
it's still going to be lurking there.
Yeah.
Malingering.
So-
waiting for a small child.
I think try Spybot. Yeah, I think that's the best thing. And for people who don't have Spybot, wonderful free program. It's kind of adware, but it's got a lot more.
Yeah.
From security.cola, K-O-L-L-A,
Yeah.
.de, a very good program.
and it often pays to run
security.cola.de.
both.
Yeah, absolutely. Why
'Cause
not?
sometimes one will pick up stuff that the other won't.
Belt and suspenders. It's just amazing the kind of stuff that they put on your computer. And you know, they're assuming that you want this stuff. It's like spam.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to filter spam, but they try to get around my filters. Isn't that like a message? I don't want this. They still think I do.
Yeah. No, I'm actually putting together a list of like people I want to meet from different
Yes.
vendors that do the
That's
pop-up
the porn
windows and
toolbar
do-
guy. I'd like to meet him.
Fonzie Buddy.
Unless it's Martin. Don't go anywhere, folks. Get your hand. Whoa! Get your
A
hands.
very special download of the day.
Get your hands on a Power Pack gaming PC for the ultimate gaming experience. We'll find out if those cases run as well as they look. And after the break, learn how wind energy converters work and how they're helping people not just here in the United States, but all over the world when the Screensavers continues. Well, certainly we've all seen or heard wind generators. Maybe not. But if you live in California and have ever driven over the Altamont Pass, you've seen the giant windmills they have up there, generating electricity day in and day out. Joining us, Vice President and co-founder of Southwest Wind Power, Andy Cruz. He doesn't make the giant ones. He makes something a little bit smaller, something more appropriate maybe for a lot of people.
Yep.
Welcome, Andy. Good to have you.
Thank you.
What is this?
This here is what we call the Air Marine. This is a 400-watt wind generator. It's a very small one.
It's a small one.
Yes.
But 400 watts, what does that mean? Is that how much power it can generate?
That's what it's capable of producing. It's really, when you want to look at energy,
Yeah.
you want to look at it in kilowatt hours.
Right. And how many kilowatt hours?
This thing here, at about a 12-mile-an-hour average wind speed, it'll produce about 40 to 50 kilowatt hours a month.
That's a lot. Enough to run a household? A small
Really,
household?
a small house. These are commonly, you'll find them on cabins, remote areas.
Boats you sell them for,
A
right?
lot on sailboats. You find them all around the Bay Area.
Yeah, if you're going to have a
Yes.
sailboat, you're going to have wind.
Absolutely.
Of course,
That's
you
right.
can't use this when the sailboat's going with the wind, right? Because there's
That's
not enough
right.
wind.
Yeah.
You have to stop, and then it would
Yeah, a lot
turn.
of times people use these down in the Caribbean where they're anchored in a spot for 3 or 4 months,
Right.
and they just use the wind to charge the batteries or run their VCRs or whatever they got on.
In
on board.
real world terms, okay, that's important. It charges batteries.
Yeah.
You don't run off the windmill, you run off the batteries that it's
Absolutely,
charged.
absolutely.
But let's say, okay, so you said 12-mile-an-hour wind. Let's say you have a pretty steady 12-mile-an-hour wind. What is that? A couple of lights? What? How much can I
That'll
operate?
give you 2 to 3 lights, depending on what type of lights, of course.
Yeah.
Compact fluorescence, you can get them a lot more efficient.
Right.
But it'll do lights, stereo, television.
Oh, really?
Oh, absolutely.
I listen to the radio.
Right, right. In
Probably not a stove, not an electric stove.
No, no, definitely not that.
Yeah, those would take a lot of juice.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Now, what's interesting to me, this is presumably state of the art, and yet
Yes.
it's basically the same design as the windmills that the Dutch used hundreds of years ago. Haven't we come up with any better way of getting wind power?
No, I mean, yes, that's where the ideas came from, but these are quite a bit more advanced
These
because these
are.
are actually producing power,
Yeah.
electricity rather than grinding corn.
Right.
But these are,
Any other designs that people have tried, or has it always been blade?
oh, there have been so
three-blade?
many different designs. You know, we've gone way off, doing vertical axis designs,
Right.
mono blade designs where just one blade.
Right. I've seen those, yeah.
And they've all kind of come back to this typical design, 3 blades.
Turns out this works.
Horizontal axis. It works very well.
Now, the materials are a little more high-tech,
Yes,
and the insides,
yes.
what are the blades made out of?
This here is a carbon fiber composite. It's made with a combination of long fiber carbon and glass and some resin.
Like a tennis
It's our own
racket.
composite. Yes, in much way. It's a proprietary composite that we use.
But it's very light and strong. I guess that would be the two things
Very, very
you'd look
important,
for. What are some
yes.
of the other issues that you have to consider? I mean, turbulence that's created
turbulence, and that comes down to siting. You know, you want to always, when you're installing wind turbines, put them just like solar panels. You want to put them where it's appropriate. So you want to put them high enough up to get away from the turbulence
ground
and the
effect
trees and
so
grounds
forth.
and
Yeah,
whatnot. Yes.
yeah. Now inside here, what is generating the electricity?
Basically, what you have in here is your standard alternator design. We use actually
Just like in your car, you mean?
much like, except this is a permanent magnet alternator. It's used. We use what's called a neodymium iron boron magnet. It's a very powerful magnet, and that's what actually
and there's
rotates within the stator.
A copper wrapping
Right,
around it, and as
exactly.
the magnet rotates, it generates electricity.
Yes.
So then you'd have a wire going from here to the
That's
batteries.
correct, right. And then inside this here actually has a microprocessor.
Oh, really?
And it's always looking at, we have a program which it's looking at the RPM and it's determining what the wind speed is, and it's optimizing the output based on whatever the wind is doing at that particular time.
And why is that? Is it because of the battery, the way the batteries
Well,
work? Or?
you want to get optimum efficiency out of the turbine, and what you're looking for is loading the blades properly, keeping it quiet, but also giving it maximum charge.
Right, right. 12-mile-an-hour wind, that's all I need, huh?
That's all you need.
Any
Yes.
more than that is better, or is it?
Oh, more and more is better.
More
of
is
course.
always better.
Right, right.
Okay.
And we have a lot of areas where the winds are much higher. Down in Argentina, we've got many installations in those regions.
So you do
where the
this
wind
all
speeds are
over the
high.
world?
Oh, absolutely. More than half of our business actually goes overseas.
In third world nations where they don't
Yep.
have infrastructure or that kind of
Yes,
thing?
you'll find them a lot in, countries like Mongolia or
We actually have some
Bangladesh.
pictures of
We do,
Mongolia,
yes.
I think, of your work there. Is that a yurt?
This here, yeah, this is an installation that was done a couple years ago. This is probably the most popular family in the neighborhood because they have their
TV.
They have TV. They have their own electricity inside.
Wow.
This is the family very proud. This is the inside of the yurt, and they've got the wires coming down. Basically, that one generator powers everything inside the yurt.
That's remarkable.
Gives them 3 or 4 lights, gives them the television, gives them radio.
They're
So-
also in Bangladesh.
Yes.
Now, that's not, I know Mongolia is very windy. Is Bangladesh pretty windy? Or?
There are regions of Bangladesh. The southern region is more windy. This here is a photo of a couple of officers, military personnel, that were installing one of our products to actually operate a radio communicator because they're worried
so
about India coming in and
Sure.
attacking them, so they put in these little installations
Interesting.
around.
Wow.
So you find these products and used all types of applications, not just necessarily remote homes or anything like that.
Right.
You'll see them on offshore platforms, on top of mountains for doing telecommunications.
Now, I've looked
sailboats.
a little into solar for my own house and wind too, because I'm on a windy kind of ridge, and batteries are the big expense, and that's where the technology really needs make
That
some
is-
progress,
that's,
right?
Yes, that's what we call the Achilles heel is the
Yeah.
batteries. Yes.
And why is that?
It's a technology which just has not really advanced. We developed
You're
this
still
lead
using
cell,
lead-acid batteries?
batteries, right? And
Like in the car.
just like in a
Well, even
yes.
cars we don't even use.
We've got new stuff coming out, nickel hydride
Right,
and other technologies, but we've still got a ways to go.
So they're heavy, they're expensive, they wear out faster than this will wear out.
That's correct, yes.
But you still need the battery array because you have to charge the battery so that
Right.
you can have a steady draw.
Absolutely.
What is in the future? What's ahead for wind technology?
Well, it's as time goes on, more advanced materials are coming available, and that's allowing us to produce more and more powerful machines with smaller in smaller packages and at lower cost. I think you'll see within just the next few years where a machine, probably 3 times the size of this one, will power an individual's house, and for
Wow.
a price where within a couple of years it pays for itself. So
Well, and there
we'll
are
see
tax
that.
breaks. You should check with your state because there's
absolutely.
huge tax breaks in most states.
Yep,
There will be federal tax breaks in many cases.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times this stuff is so subsidized that it doesn't cost nearly as much
Right,
as you think. I know from looking
absolutely.
into it.
Yeah.
I could get the state of California to pay for almost half of my solar
That's correct.
installation.
Right.
This is neat. This is exciting. And
Thanks.
how noisy?
These are actually very quiet. This one here, what it's doing with the microprocessor, it's actually looking at RPM. We've been able to actually program the RPM, so it'll actually slow down or speed up.
So you don't hear any
based on- so you
whining
make
or
it- make it
humming?
very, very quiet, right.
Oh, that's
And
great.
with the plastic blades, you never see any radio interference or anything like that with your television. We have about over 50,000 of these out in the market now.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is what kind of life expectancy?
Design life is usually around 10 years before you have to rebuild it, which is basically just bearings.
Right.
And it'll go probably another 10 years.
That's
so.
amazing.
Yeah.
Check out Andy's great article. He's written all about wind energy, how it works, and how it can change the world. It's already doing it in many places around the world. It's at thescreensavers.com, and there's his company, Southwest Wind Power at windenergy.com. Thank you, Andy.
You bet,
It's
Leo.
great to have you in. I really appreciate it. Stay put, folks. Wade wants to stop his kids from downloading the internet. Find out what he wants in just a bit. And up next, we've got the most powerful video game systems you can get. We'll give you a much closer look. They look good, too, don't they? When the Screensavers continue.
this year, call up all the boutique high-end gaming PC companies and ask them for their best system. Then take them all and benchmark them against the high-end Dell. Well, the Dell dropped out because basically, not because they had any problems with their testing, but you know what? Because they're waiting a week to ship these systems, which are all based on the new 800 megahertz Canterwood, formerly codenamed Canterwood systems. You got it. We spent last week hours arguing over these systems. Tech TV Labs technical analyst Robert Heron led the charge on the benchmarks. He's here to fill in the details. Now, should we identify each of these first?
Well, it'd be pretty easy for at least one of them. When you say Alienware,
Right.
which one would you think?
Yeah, as we pull back the Alienware, the alien head in there, and it looks
Area
like an
51M.
HR Giger kind of
Definitely.
monster.
I mean, they redesigned it simply because, in my opinion, they had to. Everyone was copying the Antec case design that pretty much everyone's stolen. It's a very popular case in
Right.
its own right, but this really does, when you say Alienware, this is definitely, that's what it looks like.
And the company is becoming known for custom painting. I don't know if you can see, if as we turn this, it should shift color like that. It's like a House of Color chameleon paint. Falcon Northwest Mach 5,
Yeah.
which is coming in a whopping, the Voodoo PC F-Class, which is coming in a whopping, I believe, is it $4,500?
For this one, it's about $4,500.
About
It really depends on,
$4,500.
the drive options and things like that.
Finally, over here,
Ultra high-end.
ultra high-end.
Literally,
I'm sorry, this is the Voodoo
Money,
PC.
no object PC right there.
Is it F-Class, they call it?
The F-Class, the F550 from Voodoo.
Now, the biggest thing about this is, okay, case windows we're a little bored by, but if you can see inside of there, it has the most neatly laid out cables in the
They don't
history.
even use the rounded cables with Voodoo PC. They stick with the flat cables, and they fold them with a true origami specialist who
It's incredible.
tucks them away nicer than, definitely nicer than the room I put it in. So.
Yeah, one of the great.
Without a doubt, though, all five, it's pretty much money is no object for the reason is that
So-
anything you want in them.
$3,000 for the Alienware.
Roughly.
How much
About
for the?
Depending on the
Falcon?
paint and the internals and the guts of the system, you can anywhere from $3,000 on up. This particular model is about $4,600.
And you're talking about $1,000 for the paint here, give or take.
Pretty close to it. Actually, you can get just about any graphic shot on the outside of this for $400.
Okay.
So that's a $400 option just for painting alone.
And the price on the?
For that, the
For the
case
Voodoo?
itself, well, that comes in right at $5,000 as it sits right there for just the case.
Wow. Now here's the fun
right.
part. Now what was the estimated price on the Dell? We're not allowed to show today.
Oh, about $3,000. Comes
okay.
right in there.
So we got $3,000 to about $5,000 for each of these systems. Unreal Tournament 2003.
Every benchmark we threw at it, OpenGL Gaming, Direct 3D Gaming with like 3D Mark, or to, like you said, Unreal Tournament
Right.
2003, less than 2%.
Right.
Statistically insignificant.
You know, the margin of statistical insignificance, nothing you're ever going to feel. So basically, why is it? These are all using the same processor, motherboard,
Same
memory,
processor,
and graphics card.
motherboard, amount of memory, type of memory, sound card, and in particular with these three, they're using the exact same motherboard as well. So,
Okay.
in a sense, what you're paying for is a lot of extras in terms of what components do you want to put in there. Do you want the best DVD burner? Do you want two of them? Do you
Right.
want the fastest hard drive in existence? Do you want a
IDE
couple of
hard
those?
drives, serial
Yeah.
ATA hard drives,
Serial ATA,
hard drives, and a RAID
10,000
configuration.
RPM ATA hard drives, things like that.
Now, what's the biggest difference? You obviously tested in the last couple of weeks. You've also tested this particular 3 gigahertz processor versus the 3.06 gigahertz. The new processor running on an 800 megahertz front side bus, previously running at 533. Big difference? Small difference?
Not
Insignificant
really.
difference?
Actually, the bottleneck's switching back to the video card again. We're
Okay.
hitting a point where, at least in terms of ATI, which these all use ATI's Radeon 9800 Pro, the 128 meg card, they all seem to hit right about the same mark and stop. So maybe that's a new sign that the video cards need to kick it up a notch again to keep up with the latest and greatest in processors.
Okay.
But in general, hey, you know what? Whether you build your own or you buy the best, if you're using the same components, you're going to get the same benchmark scores, generally speaking. And what it comes down to, what really differentiates these computers from something you would build yourself is the quality of the parts that go in for number
Right.
one, how it's put together, and everything from how Windows is laid on top of that to what applications would be running in the background when you first fire it up.
How about service
Very
and
clean.
support? I mean,
Service and
obviously,
support.
these are stripped down systems, right? There's no Office on these systems. There's
No
other
Office, and when you
applications.
load it up next to the clock, there's not going to be 6 or 10 icons from various applications that had to be
'Cause
loaded
they're
on in order to
stripping it
get
for
you the
power.
price. Yeah, you're getting the best you can get right there. And on top of it, when they ship it to you, it is ready to go, it is ready to be abused, and at the same time, it can be reset to its current condition in a matter of minutes. They provide you with huge amounts of documentation. Oh, of course, there we go. When you buy a big system,
This is ridiculous. Watch as he comes back out of here.
Let's see what you get here.
Now, this is a sign that the service and support for these systems are going to be a little. I
Like
mean,
look at
yeah,
Voodoo.
you've seen the
You buy a
paper
Voodoo
owner's
PC, you buy
manual.
a $5,000 PC. They give you the book in
Yeah,
terms of
I mean,
every
it's vinyl,
bit
it's
of
not
information.
leather, but this is all of the information for this system. I mean, this is out of control. So, are you getting better service and support? Do you get a special tech support line, or?
Well, in the case of, say, Voodoo, you get what they call limited or lifetime upgrade insurance, or assurance is actually how
Right.
they put it. What that means basically is down the road, if you ever want to change anything inside of it, they will take it back, they will sell you the parts at wholesale, they will upgrade
Right.
it for you, re-image it, send it back to you, yada, yada, yada. You get a lot of great service features like that. You get people also that specialize in building gaming machines. They're not here to build you the fastest Office machine,
Right.
not here to make sure that, you're going to have the latest this and that. It's really, how fast can we run the games? Will they run the latest games? Do I have all the latest features that I need?
Okay, so
And in
like-
terms of that, you have a lot of style that goes into all of these systems too.
Okay, let's see if I get this straight. First of all, primary difference between these is basically the look.
Definitely.
If you're willing to buy which motherboard are inside of these?
The 875p.
875p
Kennerwood
motherboard, the Kennerwood chip, the 3 gigahertz, 800 megahertz chip, and a 9800. You're going to get pretty much the same exact performance on these.
Pretty much.
If you build it yourself,
Same thing.
and you know what?
It's
We
good.
got a poll online. They're pretty, or
Look
they're
at that.
scary.
Rescue DVD.
This is so scary. Thanks, Robert. Our distinguished lab rat, Robert Heron. Lawson Wong, thank you for running the benchmarks. You can find his full analysis, not to mention how he tested these systems. Plus, we want you to vote for which system you think looks the best. It's all coming. Well, you know what? Go to thescreensavers.com. Do us a favor, vote. We want to know what you think about these systems, or if we should never show pretty systems again.
They're delicious. Gives
Don't
me
go
ideas,
anywhere.
too.
He's scary. You'll miss us deconstruct the Sunday Tech Ads. Deal or scam? We're going to reveal all. Plus, still to come, how do you keep sharing sites like Kazaa away from your kids? Find out right after these messages.
Welcome back to the Screensavers. I'm Leo Laporte. Coming up in this half hour, don't get gypped. Who wrote that? You know that's considered a rude thing to say?
Don't get screwed.
Okay, that's better. Let us guide you to the hottest deals of the Sunday Tech Ads. Plus, design your own OS X icons with our next caller, Chris. No, that's better because gypsies take that badly.
Right.
Because it's from the word gypsy.
But screws are inanimate, so they can't
They can't
complain.
get mad.
Yeah.
Which of those three did you like? The green one? You like the
gotta admit,
DeSoto?
I love the interior of the Voodoo. I'd like to see the Falcon with a different paint job.
Yeah, the green is a little apple green for me.
It's a little. It reminds me way too much of the Alien from Alien.
Well, that's the whole point. It's Alienware.
Drooling,
get it?
acid, nasty,
Oh.
human
Ooh.
civilization
Ugh.
ending kind of thing.
And Robert's not so bad either. Don't forget to register for this week's Screensavers LAN Party powered by NVIDIA. We're going to be playing Quake 3 Akimbo.
That's the two-fisted one.
Yeah, a special mod that allows you to shoot, you see here, 2 weapons at the same time. Yes, you're right. Joshua Brentano thought this up. A plasma cannon and a machine gun, any combo you want, or two rocket guns, my favorite. Go to our website, click on Join the LAN Party to register, and the download software links are there as well. We
Watch
wanna
as
see you
Leo
this
goes for a
Thursday.
personal file.
Yes.
Personal.
You know what you don't want to do? Is get 2 rocket and then launchers and then go right up to a wall and shoot them at the same
I was
time.
going to say, you're going to go for your personal high
low.
of negative 23.
Yes, that's right. Just blow yourself to smithereens. Wade on the line from Glenville, California. Hello, Wade.
Hello.
Hello, Wade. What can we do for you?
I've got a teenage son and a DSL line.
Uh-oh, you got trouble, my friend.
Yeah.
You probably want that the porn thing.
Well, he's pretty good at that, but
Yeah, I bet he
every
is.
once in a while I find something. But
We used to have to go to, the drugstore and
Right.
if you were lucky, they would let you kind of look at the cover of the Playboy.
yeah, it's
Now,
different
kids today, it's all there.
Anyway, is there any way you can disable or block out peer-to-peer so that he just can't download it again? 'Cause
He's
I throw it
downloading
away.
music? Is that what he's doing?
Well, yeah, every once in a while I'll go in there and I'll delete everything, and
Right.
it takes him a little while, and he can't help
How
it.
old is your son, Wade?
He's 16.
Pretty sophisticated computer-wise?
No.
Oh, good. Because I'll tell you, if he was, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah. Does the child have a driver's license?
That's the horror I'm going through right now.
Okay. Here's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, in my house, if I continued to do something my dad said no to,
That's what
Right.
you would lose.
yeah, at best, that was a
Let's-
high point.
I agree. Let's see if there's a technical solution. Is there any way you could prevent peer-to-peer file sharing A firewall would do it.
Well, if you shut down the ports, if it's not designed to emulate port 80, which is what
Right.
all of the HTML, if it comes
Does
over the,
Kazaa use 80? Do those use 80?
that's a really good question.
So you understand where we're going here, Wade?
Right. I've got Norton Internet Security, and
Yeah.
I tried enabling the parental controls, and it locked me out to the point that I had to format the hard drive and start it over again. So I'm a little touchy
You're
about
gun
that.
shy on that one. I don't blame you. Do you have a hardware router, or do you only have one computer connected to the outside?
It's 5 static IP addresses. It's run through a Cayman DSL
Right.
router.
That's pretty sophisticated. You might look and see if that Cayman can do things like block the kinds of traffic you're worried about. That by doing it in the Cayman, you're better off because he can get into the computer and mess with it, but he
Right.
can't really get into the Cayman. It's password protected. So that's a lot of times blocking at the router might be the solution.
Well, that's
have
what
you
I
found
thought
something?
about blocking out a port, but I was wondering if it just uses 80, well,
Then you're out of
you
luck.
can't get anything.
Yeah, you won't be able to surf the web. That's the problem. Now, if this thing emulates 80, I don't know what you're going to do because, you're basically there's nothing you can do. You can't prevent, if it's Windows XP, you could have an account for him that doesn't allow him to install new software. You want to do that?
XP Home.
Okay, there you go. Here's what you do. You create an administrator account for yourself. You don't tell your son the password. You create an account for him, and you don't make him an administrator. You make him an average user. He can't install new software. Then you remove all that other stuff. How about that, Wade?
That'll work.
That'll work. That's actually one of the best reasons to have user permissions. Keep people from doing stuff like that. That'd be my recommendation. Thing is, if he's smart, a smart 16-year-old who really knows about computers, he's going to be able to get around anything you do. On the other hand, this is a really good way to train him how to use computers.
Or you can simply
Give him a good
say-
skill for the future, right?
Yeah, well, the flip side, though, is you take that, then you add my version of social engineering on top of it,
Between
which
the
is
two
you
of those.
ground him for the next 8, 9, 12 months of his or her life.
Right. Why do you think Abby keeps asking me for the administrator password on her computer?
'Cause
She ain't going to get it either.
all right, good
But,
call, Wade.
and don't do what I did. Don't leave yourself logged in. Because then she got in and she changed herself back to administrator and changed me to an average user. So
Did you at least lock her up in her room, administer any form of administrative punishment?
no, I'm scared of her. Speaking of people I'm scared of, let's check in with our web guru, Nicole. It's her very first download of the day.
Nice.
I'm not
You're
scared
not
of you.
scared of me. Well, I was scared of losing files, which is what prompted me to find today's download of the day.
Tell me what happened.
I was helping a friend who wanted to play around with Partition Magic. She was
Yeah.
preparing to multi-boot Linux and
Yeah.
Windows NT, and
Yeah.
Partition Magic mutated, became evil, corrupted her partition data, and she
I
didn't
shouldn't
have
laugh.
a current backup. No.
That's happened to me.
No,
This
they-
happens all the time. So you tell your friend that's completely normal. It's not her fault.
That makes me feel much better.
It happened to you, didn't it? It was you.
was
I
me.
know it.
It was
you.
me.
It was
So-
you. Okay.
I went
So
off
you
and
lost all your data?
I lost all of my partition data
Oh my goodness.
and a number of files. I had a backup about a week old.
Oh, so there was a week worth of data that you didn't have.
I didn't have it all.
So what did you do?
I went off in search of data recovery software.
And you found it?
I evaluated some options. What I decided to try was File Scavenger. It's from QTech Consulting,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fantastic. Let's take a look. It's got a search button. It's very easy to interact with. You can see it's got a really friendly little user interface.
That's nice. I could search for address books or music files.
Any
or-
format
yeah.
file, any kind of file. And then this is what's really neat about this program. There are 3 search levels. You can do a normal search, which is a quick and easy, recently created document.
For those who have not partitioned their hard drive inadvertently. Okay.
Then there's an exhaustive search if you're looking for something that you created a while ago, or if
Okay.
you've made some changes to your drive since
Okay.
you had a backup. And then you have the defunct volume search. This
That's
is
what
where all
you
the
had.
power is. Yes, this searches for partitions you've lost drives, even if it doesn't know the position number or size.
Wow. So how did it do? Did it recover your
I
data?
recovered everything. I didn't
That's
lose
wonderful.
a byte. So
And
there's
how much does it cost?
$39.95 for the full license,
Okay.
and there's a free demo you can download. It will find everything, but it will only restore little bitty files.
Well, that's good because you can see if it works.
Yes.
You can see if it's going to find your data, and then if it does, hey, it's worth the $39. What is it? $39.95.
$39.99. It's worth it, definitely.
File Scavenger. Links on our website.
Links
right?
on our website. I've got an article there, and if you have any other fun free downloads, send them to me, NicoleC@techtv.com.
All right. Very cool. You ever see those beautiful icons in OS 10? They're so gorgeous. Have you ever wondered how you can make them for yourself? I'm going to show you. It's not as hard as you might think as the Screensavers continues. But next, here's just one of many ads that caught our eye in the Sunday papers. We'll take a closer look at the real deal when the Screensavers continues. It's time to check in with the great people at Tech Live. They're preparing a wonderful show for you tonight. News anchor Lindsay Arendt is on the Tech Live set. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Great. What you got for us today?
Norton, I got a question for you. I want to know what your thoughts are on laundry. You like doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
I do.
Really?
My mother and I used to fight over doing the laundry.
Oh, that's so
Soothing.
cute.
Wait a
I
minute. You're
really
not
like
going
having
with
clean
this here.
clothes.
I want you to say no. You hate it all the time.
Lindsay, I hate doing the laundry.
Thank you, Leo.
'Cause that's
Thank you
true.
so much. Because I need some help with this. Listen, we're talking about Rosie the Robot. Do you guys remember that lady from the Jetsons?
Yeah, the
French
robot.
parlor maid outfit, robot lady, did everything
Yeah.
you ever wanted. All right, well, if you're like me, for years you've been waiting for a Jetsons-like robot like Rosie to come on the market, do everything in life that you hate doing. For me, definitely laundry. Well, sad news is the wait continues, but little did you know that every time you stick a slice of bread in the toaster, slap a dish in the microwave or in the oven, you're actually commanding a robot, just like the one you saw, kind of, but not really. Fact is, whether you know it or not, robots are all around you in your kitchen. They're in your life. We are going to take a look at all the robots in your home tonight on Tech Live, right after the screensavers. So you'll have to watch and wait and see what's in your home that you don't know about.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's Tech Live tonight.
Right after the screensaver.
Yes, sir. Time now for
Our take on the latest tech ads, the Sunday ads. We call it the real deal.
Real Deal.
This is weird. Check this out. Parasound Halo introduces true audiophile sound to multi-channel home theater.
Oh, it's $4,000. It must be good.
Yeah, well, actually,
want it.
it's $10,000 because you basically need both of them to do all the cool stuff.
Okay.
You know what's weird about this?
What?
This is high-end gear. This is audiophile level gear. You used to have to go to a little tiny store, usually run by a really obnoxious person who didn't want to deal with anybody wearing.
I know.
I used to love going to
mocked
high-end audio
me.
stores, 'cause
Yes.
especially when I was like freelancing, and I'd walk in, I'd look like scum, and they wouldn't talk to me, and then I'd pay cash, and then every time I'd go in there ever
They were
again,
nicer to you.
everybody would fight because they all wanted the commission.
So this is actually good stuff.
This is pretty serious stuff. This is high-end stuff.
I know,
This
it's
is
expensive.
highly rated. It's interesting though to see. Really, this is this is $10,000 worth. This is a used car.
Right.
This is without the speakers.
Right.
This is without the screen. You already dropped a used car.
And this is like in the Sunday papers?
This is in the Sunday paper. This is apparently showing up, I guess, at Good Guys.
Wow.
So it's interesting to see that some very expensive, very high-end stuff is starting to get in
Now,
to the superstores and the regional
do
electronics
they have the
stores.
skill set to sell this stuff?
Well, you know what? Do they have the skill set to sell anything?
Now, wait a minute. Some of my best friends work at the Good Guys.
And I know some great people. I know some great people who work at CompUSA. I know
But
some
this
great
is-
people who work at Best
this is
Buy, Circuit
high-end
City.
stuff.
But I also know people. I know people who can mess up at any end of it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? And all it takes is one detailer for a company to offer a pretty good spiff. And you know what? Suddenly they're pushing Bob's brand of whatever it is. Whether
What else
it's the
we
best
got?
one or not. Okay, next one.
Parasound Halo.
Now we got
This
another
is
thing.
great. I told Megan to go run out and buy one of these Canons.
Yeah,
Look
Canon
at the
ZR65.
prices.
Some low light issues, but overall a very nice camera. A lot of great features for the money. $600 sounds amazing, right? That one
Yes.
of their ZR65.
Unbelievable.
Well, check it out. I'm gonna switch to a web page here, so I'm gonna pull the camera back. Otherwise, people get all sorts of. Ugh. Check this out. Prices. Let's go to prices. We do a search here. CNET's got a great price search engine. Check this out as we scroll down. 426. 432. Willoughby's an outstanding
Yeah.
dealer.
So shop around.
Shop around. Why
'Cause that's
pay an extra
practically list
$180?
that they're charging right there.
It is list that they're charging right there.
So that's a good point. Consumer
yeah.
electronics you can often get for less than list.
Just because it's in the Sunday flyer, don't assume it's the best deal you can get.
Listen to this man, he knows.
I'm cheap, is what I am. Head over to thescreensavers.com and click on the show notes, see the ads we looked at, along with our witty and
Think
charming
they'd be nice to me if
commentary.
I paid cash? I got 57 cents.
Hey, it's a start.
I'll
After
pay
the break, we'll show Chris how to make those fancy OS 10 icons.
Yes.
Or at least we're going to die trying when the screensavers continue.
Could this be fatal?
Could be.
Oh my God. What are you fighting over?
It's
What
a
are you
little
fighting over?
fuzzy kitty, I think.
Are you fighting over pictures of the kitty
I don't
cat?
know whose cat this is, but it is easily the ugliest cat I have ever laid eyes on.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
an all insults edition of the
Yeah.
Screensavers. Up next to be abused, Chris.
Hey, Chris from Farwell, Michigan. How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
You don't work at the Good Guys, do you?
Huh?
Nothing. What can we do for
Hey,
you?
hold on a second. I got to say that. Look, we've all shopped retail.
Yes.
We've all had good
Many of us
experiences.
have worked retail.
Myself, I've spent
Yes.
many years in retail. There's people who know their products, there's people who don't. There's also an unfortunate zone in the middle where people just want to sell stuff and get you out of their store. If I've insulted anyone that works at any of these stores, please do not hurl heavy objects in the aisles at me. Explain to me that you know your stuff and that I'm a jerk.
And I'm going to stay away from all gypsy encampments. Now, Chris, what can we do for you?
But screws are okay.
I just want to say congratulations to Megan on her baby.
Yeah!
I'm going to see her tonight. I had dinner with her yesterday, and I held the baby, and she's so sweet.
Yay.
So I'm going to see her tonight. She needs a FireWire cable. They have a video camera. It didn't come with the FireWire cable. So I'm going to bring her a FireWire cable so she can get some videos of the baby into the computer.
How
So I'll
annoying
tell her
is
that
that?
for you, Chris.
All right, and I love your book, Leo.
Oh, thank you.
And my dad loves it too because I got it for him for Christmas.
Oh, that's really sweet. It's ironic that you should say that. We're just negotiating what we're going to do next, and I'll let you know as soon as we decide.
Cool.
But we'll probably do another one for the fall.
Now that you've complimented us, Chris, can we help you in any
Yeah,
manner?
really.
What can we do for you?
I'm wondering, I switched over to Mac, which is a good thing. And I love the icons. I
Aren't
love
they
the
beautiful?
way that they make the icons.
Let me show you what he's talking about. They really are pretty.
They are.
They're doing something called photorealism. That's one thing, and then they're also. In fact, let me. You know what I'll do is open the. Oh, we're in the lollipop mode. Sometimes that happens when it's just waking up. You ever be that way when you're just waking up, Chris? You know, you just kind of nothing's going to happen for a while. You just kind of. There we go. They really are beautiful icons. So, would you like to know how to make them? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the reasons that these icons look so good is because Apple is using alpha channels, which is the transparency channel. So you get red, green, blue, and then an alpha channel, a background channel, which allows you to do a lot of lighting effects. Let me point you, we don't have a whole lot of time, so I can't actually show you all the details, but let me point you to a website, xicons.com, which is a great Mac icon resource, and they have an article on how to make Aqua icons. So let me xicons. Oh man, it's hard having two keyboards and two mouses. Mises. I can't click as fast as I'd like to. This is xicons.com. Go to articles and then scroll down, and they actually tell you, do you have Photoshop or anything like that?
I have a trial version of Photoshop.
Good. Photoshop's the best way to do it. You need some paint program that does alpha channels. Photoshop, of course, is famous for that. But this actually has a step-by-step. It's kind of for an older version of Photoshop, so you might have to modify some of the steps. But look, here's how you take basically a gray circle, you apply lighting gradients and lighting effects, and look at that. With proper lighting, look how that looks. And you can't do that without an alpha channel. By the way, Windows XP also supports alpha channel and 128 by 128 icons. And that's kind of the other thing, is that large icons, high color. Look how beautiful you can get that with all the lighting effects. This is a really nice little article that gets you through that step by step. Okay, thanks for the call, Chris. Stay where you are. Final emails and final thoughts right after this.